初めて出会う者たち Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for attending today's service. I'm just surprised that Vivian is here today, even though there's a Orioles game or somebody game today here in San Diego. San Diego Padres are playing today or something like that. So see how wonderful that is? But anyway, today is our Go Kinen Kai, so it's like a regular service that we would have during the day. But we also have a mini Shintoku Academy today. So if you have like a notebook or one that you use specifically for church or something, you can please make sure you have that on the side, because I'm going to make you do a level 2 writing, some writing and thinking. Hopefully it'll get you reflecting on different things. And then I'll share with you the rest of the calendar for, especially next month, because, can you believe it's almost like Godaisai season again? It's like, wow, one Godaisai is finished and we're ready for the next one. Not quite, we're almost there though. We're almost ready for the next Godaisai. Just have to make sure that sake comes in for Kami-sama no Osonai no. But without further ado, let's begin today's Go Kinen Kai. So if you could take out a prayer of sincere Toritsugi, Haire, 4 sincere claps. Prayer of sincere Toritsugi. I am a Konko Kyo believer. I believe in Ikigami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Kami. I've come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami. Honor the ancestors, and learn more about the faith of Konko Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive Toritsugi. Kigami Konko Daijin sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami sama. Thank you. Aire. Jiro Haire, 4 sincere claps. Sorry. Amatsu no rito. Takaman no hara ni kamuzu marimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite sume miyoya kamuizanai no mikoto tsukushin no hyugan no tachibanan no odon no wawagi hara ni misogi arai tamau toki ni aremaseru harai dono wo kami tachi moro moro no Nagagoto tsumi kegarero harai tamai hiyome tamae tomosu koto no yoshio amatsu kami kunitsu kami ao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no fuchi koma no mimi furi tatete kiko shimese to kashikomi mo mosu. Mediation prayer, page 2. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Ikigami Konko Daijin, sincerely and wholeheartedly, each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Ikigami Konko Daijin Sama, Ikigami Konko Daijin Sama, Ikigami Konko Daijin Sama, Ikigami Konko Daijin Sama. Coming prayer. The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth. Time flows without cease. Years pass without end. In heaven and earth is a life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is a truth that orders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous forms, let us praise Tenchi Kane no Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings. This is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes. Great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daiji, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast to faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing and began the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The divine parent's great wish was thus fulfilled. Konko Daijin accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day, he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth. And he knew not the coming of night. By night, he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered. And he knew not the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Tenchi Kakitsuke, the guiding principle for our daily life. Divine favor was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Ikigami Konko Daiji. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way. Through all the hardships of this world, through pain of body and soul, the way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Kami. Without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far, the way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us. We are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray. So we earnestly pray. Prayer for grace. Kami-sama, give me grace for this day, not for a lifetime, nor next year, next month, next week, or tomorrow. Yes, give me grace just for this day. Direct my work and bless it. Advise me in the things I say and give them blessings too. Direct and bless everything that I think, do, and speak. So for this one day, I have the gift of grace that comes from your presence. Kami-sama, just this one day, let me live generously and kindly in a state of grace and goodness that makes me a little bit like you. Shinchu Kinan Silent Prayer. ご神号報奨 Recitation of the Divine Name ひがみ金剛大臣ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様ひがみ金剛大臣様Please open your prayer books to page 29 for Shintoku Sanji. 仰ぎ祭れば天高く仰ぎ祭れば天高くおろがみ祭れば地は初し神の恵みに生かさるるみの幸いぞわにがたきわがいきがみの取り次ぎ糸ひもかくる時のなくて地の神の恩守りときちかきの隔てなしかんいつくしみはよろずよにあまねく道で果てしなくかんはからいはくすしくて人の思いぞを呼ばざる我ら今月今日やび祭りでひたすらに神の御影を抱え祭らん神の秀を仰ぎ祭らんPrayer for the ending of the coronavirus pandemic. ひがみ金剛大臣様天地金の神様ひがみ金剛大臣様天地金の神様 We offer our hearts of appreciation for your love and virtue as we are allowed to live in this very moment. A pandemic is continuing to interrupt the lives, health, and livelihoods of people throughout the world. However, we also give thanks to those who have given so much to help bring a sense of normalcy back into the world. We also give appreciation for those working to end this pandemic through research, care, and service. The coronavirus pandemic has caused much concern and raised anxieties amongst peoples and nations. Hence, we offer our hearts and prayers to you to help us end this pandemic expediently and bring peace to the world. Sadly, there are those who have passed due to this virus. We put our hands together to pray for their peace and salvation. We pray for the approved vaccines and medications. With your favor and grace, they will be effective in saving lives. It is our prayer that with each mask worn, each vaccine given, and or each medication taken, we take another step in helping to create a world where we support and care for each other as your precious children. We pray for those who are infected by the virus to quickly heal and recuperate, in order that they may continue to contribute to society and the world. And for those that are suffering in the midst of this pandemic, please allow their faiths to be resurrected, their livelihoods be restored. We pray for political, economical, and educational reform, that all the apprehension and distrust we have been harboring will dissipate, and we will be blessed with societal order. Thus, now more than ever, we commit to reviving our hearts of appreciation, having a heart of kami, and praying for and guiding others. May we all be awakened to your truth, that a faith that helps others helps ourselves. Use us to help you in this crusade to end this pandemic and bring peace to our world. It is our sincere prayer that the people of the world will not only have peace of mind, but also live happily, safely, abundantly, and healthily. ひがみ金光大神様、天地金の神様、ひがみ金光大神様、天地金の神様。Hi, 4 sincere claps. Shirohaide, 4 sincere claps.ゆかはうまし満ちてるみ柱うし廃止初代王先生廃止はわれはおぶもしたわしきゆかわのうしはやあわれあおぶもしたわしきゆかわのうしはやあわれしのぶも懐かしきゆまし満ちてるみ柱うしはや 和歌の浦和の清き深き御心持ちて、神を敬い道を尊び、何はへの広き遠き身を盛り持ちて、お哀れみ人を救いて、道の御光をわんまかがし教えの恵みをふにかがし、人の世のもとつ道を極め尽くし、神と人と一つなることわりを、まさやかに教えまつぶさに示したまいし、大き高き右さをとみ祭りやび祭らくを、めぐしときこし橋とみそなわして、道の行く手をわんまつ日のいやとに守り、教えの子らが行く末を、照る月のいやひろに恵みたまえと、かしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society, the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Please open your prayer books to page 36 for Sosen Sanji. Yoyo no uya wa 我が悲縁の神我が神と心尽くしていつき祭らんな心尽くしていつき祭らんなとと君をやんの神たちよ海の子のために家の柱を沈めたてたまい初子のために世のなりわりを守り助けたまいかくりよのみえぬ境にましませども右つくしみのみ心は映しよに変わらせたまわず先見たまのまさきく先は言えたまいくしみたまのくしびに恵みたまいて志は薪の柱の動きなくなりは火は結ぶつなめのゆるみなく真心清らに励みずとめしめたまいうからやからやわらぎやいて陰に剣にゆらやすく楽しましめたまいついに移しよのことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい右つくし をこむらしめたまわんものと神の実りの絶えなるをかしこみかたじけなみみよやの恵みのおぼろげならぬをうれしみ喜び申すことを御心も涼やかにひこしめしたまえと申す。あなくしみのみおやのみたま。あなくしみのみおやのみたま。あなととのみおやの神。あなととのみおやの神。At this time, will you please turn to page 19 for the newly departed soul prayer? And for us here at the San Diego Church, maybe some of you may have someone special in your life that has recently passed away. For us here at the San Diego Church, this Wednesday, or Thursday, I cannot remember, will mark the 50th day since Miss Joanne Sonoda passed away. So if you could please keep her in your heart as we recite the newly departed soul prayer, and anyone else that may be in your life that may have passed away. We will do page 19, newly departed soul prayer. Spirit of the newly departed, we love you now and forever. Fond memories of you fill our hearts. We shall miss your physical presence. Yet you will remain in our hearts forever. We pray for your eternal happiness. We sincerely pray with heart and soul. As a beloved child of Kami, you were given the gift of life and sought to live it fully each and every day. As you leave your physical form, please listen to our prayers. Whether in your physical or spiritual form, the universe is your eternal home. May you always be blessed with a peaceful heart. Know that you are always embraced by Kami's love. Jido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Jido Haide, 4 sincere claps.まだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親の御親の神の支配をまだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親の御親の神の支配をはいで 4 sincere claps. I did 4 sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 6 for recitation of the Tenchi Gakitsuke. 式神金剛大臣天地金の神神に願え。影は我が心にあり、今月今日で頼め。Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Oración de Tenchi Kakitsuke. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Oria Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Oria Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. Ore, ahora en este momento. Ore, ahora en este momento. Haile, 4 sincere cups. Thank you for joining us. So what we'll do is, if you have your notebook, so you can write some notes in or something, your faith notebook. If you don't have one at the moment, just maybe a piece of paper or something, and hopefully you can keep this for your records for you to reflect on. So I think, these are, hopefully today's Shintoku Academy mini lesson will be a one really good with reflection. So I'm going to go over there. Let me set everything up so all of you can see, even those of you inside. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully I'm doing this right. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Hi. So let me do this. Wait. Okay, I pressed that. I think I don't have a video file. No video. No video file. Sorry, there's a bunch of new things they added onto this. I just got to be careful. Oh. Where did you go? Nope, not you. There you are. Okay. Hopefully I got this. Oh, I remember. View. Want the reading page. See, it's a good thing I'm a teacher and my students shared this stuff with me. All right. So this is our, I think our second or third Shintoku Academy. We haven't had one in quite a while. It's just been a busy year for all of us. But today's Shintoku Academy lesson focuses on the topic of Jitsuite. I don't want to call it a concept, because really it's something that Kyoso-sama, or the source of teachings, taught us that is a part of our lives. So this is something that's a part of our lives. So Jitsuite is literal translation would be sincerity and politeness. This is today's version is the truncated version. Do you have a paper with you? Are you taking notes? See, I hope the rest of you have notes to take notes with. I just sent Vivian out to go get note paper, and I'm such the teacher, huh? I can hold on. I'm sorry for the coughing. I did go to urgent care, and they said it's a post-nasal drip that I have. So I'm on a regimen. I have to do this regimen for like a week and a half, they said. So hopefully I'll get rid of this post-nasal drip. It makes me appreciate mucus a lot. Anyway, so let's move on. I think some of you may have gotten. Just note, I think what's important to note about today is that I can't speak to everything about Jitsuite. Any person who says, I have spoken completely about Jitsuite or anything about a topic, I really think is kind of full of themselves. Really, this is a topic that continues to grow, and it's something that's evolutionary. It continues to evolve, and so I don't have 100. Today's mini lesson is not everything about Jitsuitene because really it's your life. And today it's a different type of lesson because you've all kind of completed level 1 of the Shintoku Academy. This would have been a topic that was part of lesson 2. So now you're helping me to build lesson level 2 for Shintoku Academy. So let's move on. So hopefully you're all prepared. You have your Shinjin notebooks, you have a writing utensil, and hopefully you'll be able to participate. So I have my cell phone here with me. So if you want to text your response to me and I can share it, I won't give out names. That's fine. If you're brave, you want to share it in the chat room on YouTube, that's absolutely fine. I can check my DMs on Facebook, and that's absolutely fine. I can do the same thing with that. So just please, I hope you'll participate in this. Hopefully it's a simple lesson. So first of all, question for you. How many of you have ever heard the phrase Jitsui Teine? Type yes in the chat box. You can text me on the cell phone, or you want to DM me on YouTube, feel free to DM me. But how many of you have ever heard the phrase Jitsui Teine? I got one person said they heard of it. Anybody? Are you all being shy? I'm checking my devices. I know there's like a 10-second lag. I've been reading up about StreamYard. I think we're all shy. That's okay. Shy is good too. So shy is good. So some of you may have heard of it. Some of you have not. And that's absolutely fine. Maybe you've heard the Japanese version, but not what the English may sound like. What do you think Jitsui Teine is? So if you want to type that into a chat room, or maybe send it to my cell phone if you know my cell phone number, or if you have Messenger, you want to send it in Messenger, go ahead, send it in Messenger. That's fine. Let me give you about a minute to think about this, and let's see what comes up. Let me give you about a minute. I'm such the teacher here. We'll give you a minute to think about this. Go ahead. What do you think Jitsui Teine is? And while you do that, I'll drink my coffee. And if you don't know, saying I don't know is a perfect option as well. There's nothing wrong with saying I don't know. So again, you can type your response into the YouTube chat room here. Text it to me or DM me. That's absolutely fine. Oh, we go 1-0. It's okay. We're still going to give you that time. All right. I don't want to hear you, my timer stuff. So let's look at some different things. Let's see if there's any responses. Any responses? Any responses? No. Vivian, what do you think Jitsui Teine could be? It's okay if you're not sure too. That's okay. Passing is fine as well.
It's like on the tip of my mind.
So let's look at the literal translation. The literal translation of Jitsui Teine is sincere and polite. The KCNA translation is sincere and conscientious. However, what I think is interesting is Kyoso-sama has a very interesting interpretation, which is not just sincere and polite, but there's this sense of attentiveness to attentiveness. That becomes really important. So again, the literal says sincere and polite. Keisene says sincere and conscientious. And Kyoso-sama says sincere, polite, and I should really put the word "and" in there. So later on I'll change this to "and." But sincere, polite, and attentive. That word "and" is very, 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 very important when we talk about Jitsui Teine. Some interesting facts. The usage of the term Jitsui Teine. So even though Kyoso-sama had talked about Jitsui Teine, after the passing of Kyoso-sama, the usage of the term Jitsui Teine only started a number of years after Kyoso-sama's passed away. So between 1910 and 1915 is when the first recorded use of the term Jitsui Teine was discovered. Jitsui Teine, though, was used by Kyoso-sama was to describe life, your life as Jitsui Teine, in your everyday life, in your occupation, your home life, your private life. Everything should be Jitsui Teine. But Kyoso-sama also said that Jitsui Teine describes your relationship with Kami-sama. So it's not just your everyday life, it's also about your relationship, your daily relationship, not Sunday relationship with Kami-sama, not Saturday relationship with Kami-sama, but your daily relationship with Kami-sama. So that's what Kyoso-sama used it for two things, which really is one. So you'll see two is one. So here is what we're going to do. In your Shinjin notebook, let me give you a minute and a half. In your Shinjin notebook, I'm not going to ask for any responses. Only I would like for you to respond with, what is your relationship with Kami-sama like? In your Shinjin notebook, let me give you about a minute and a half to reflect on that and write in your Shinjin. We're back on live. We're back live. So, what is your relationship with Kami-sama like? Is what you're writing in your Shinjin notebook. I'm sorry for the little delay. It's Lizzo. I love Lizzo. All right. So let's move on just one. So I want to share with you a story about, if you attended the I think it was a 2019 KCNA conference, I shared this story with all of you, but let me share with you this story, and hopefully you'll get a sense of how Jitsui Teine works in our everyday life and its connection to our relationship with Kami-sama. So I have a friend who is a Tenrikyo believer, and he heard that I was coming to Japan. He just happened to be in Japan at that time because he was translating. And he wanted to join me. There's a program for believers and ministers, a faith training program at headquarters that's located if you look in here, oh, you can't see a single thing, can you? Hold on one moment. I have to share my screen again. So if you look here, in this building here, if you can see where the cursor is, that's called the Shintoku Den, and that's a training place. And sometimes when they're doing construction on the main worship hall, they will do services and do toritsugi in that building. But it's considered a training spot for ministers and believers. And this friend of mine wanted to join and be thank goodness for Reverend Yoshitsugu Fukushima, who made that possible, where he could participate as just an observer. But believe me, he was not participating as observer, and the ministers in charge made sure of that he participated as a participant. So my friend happened to be in the same group as a dear classmate of mine. Her name is Reverend Yoriko Sakamoto, and at that time she had to be like 80-something years old. It's amazing. She Sakamoto Sensei started a mission in Fukuoka at the age of 70-something, and her mission has slowly started to grow, and she's just a phenomenal woman. So my friend and Sakamoto Sensei were in the same group together. And oh my gosh, I would freak out because we had the first day, the first activity was to clean, and we were all assigned certain areas. And I would hear, Tenrikyo-san, Tenrikyo-san. And I would rush, and I'm watching like, oh my gosh, what did he do? What happened? What happened? And she was explaining to him that he was cleaning what we call the getabako. Getabako is it's like a shoe rack for geta, which is the wooden clogs. And he was cleaning it, but he wasn't cleaning the whole thing. He cleaned the bottom, and then here's a geta. Then he skipped over that, and he cleaned that. As she saw this, and she said, Tenrikyo-san, Tenrikyo-san. And she explained to him, when you clean your body, do you miss parts of it just because it's inconvenient to get to? No, you have to start with the top portion first, then the sides, because everything drops. And then you lift up the geta and you wipe underneath the geta too. And I thought, oh my gosh, my friend's going to hate me. My friend's going to hate Konkokyo. My friend's going to hate Sakamoto Sensei. And then we just happened to have, then that same day, we have dinner together. And I heard, Tenrikyo-san. Poor thing, this guy was called Tenrikyo-san throughout the whole training period. Tenrikyo-san, Tenrikyo-san. And we noticed, I think it was curry or hayashi. I cannot remember what it was, but it was something with gravy on it. And his plate had rice on it, had curry still on it. And she said, why do you waste? Why did you waste? Look, if you scoop it up, look how much curry still remains. I think it was curry. Look how much remains. And look at the rice kernels, do you know how much tenchi no megumi or the blessings of heaven had to go into creating one grain of rice? And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, he's going to hate Konkokyo. He's going to hate Sakamoto Sensei. What did I do? I should have said, no, you cannot come because you're not going to get it. Oh my gosh. And then, believe it or not, so where you see here, this area here, just above here is like a little hill. So I was assigned down here to clean. They were assigned up here to clean. There's a hill up there, and they were assigned up here. And you could hear Sakamoto Sensei go, Tenrikyo-san, Tenrikyo-san. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I couldn't rush up there to see what was going on. But my friend later told me, Sakamoto Sensei said to him that even though he was cleaning everything, he was just taking the broom and sweeping up all the leaves. And there's still leaves on the ground. And she said, why would you just leave dust there? Just pick all the rest of those leaves up with your hand. It's okay to get dirty. You can wash your hands later. And then I thought, oh my gosh. You know, we just happened to get out of the bathroom and he was talking to me about it. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to hate Konkokyo. He's going to hate Konkokyo. He's going to hate Konkokyo. He's going to hate me for this. He's going to hate Sakamoto Sensei for this. So, question, what do you think the Tendikyo believers' reaction to Sakamoto Sensei was? And do you think he gained anything from Sakamoto Sensei? So let me give you about a minute. Think about this for about a minute. What do you think the Tendikyo believers' reaction was to Sakamoto Sensei? And what do you think he gained? Or do you think he gained anything from Sakamoto Sensei? So think about this for about a minute. And if you have a response, go ahead. You can type it into the YouTube chat. Feel free to text it to me or DM it to me. That's absolutely fine. I'm totally cool with that. I just have to be careful because if not, something's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to start off with Vivian first. So Vivian, what do you think the Tendikyo believers' reaction was to Sakamoto Sensei?
Appreciation.
Appreciation. What do you think he gained anything from her?
Yeah, gained a better understanding of like you should. Even though it's like cleaning, it will help you become closer to Kami if you put your heart into it.
Anybody else? So she said that he believed that she believed that the Tendikyo believer had a very grateful heart towards Sakamoto Sensei, and that he learned to that through these actions he can get a closer relationship to Kami-sama. Anyone else? You're also quiet. It's okay. Well, I'm just checking. Okay, so let me share with you. I think. Oh, I didn't. So So here's what was amazing about him. It wasn't until I went to Tendi because I was staying in Tendikyo headquarters that he shared with me that he made a link to everything Sakamoto Sensei was teaching him, and it related to his faith. In fact, he was asked to do a presentation about his time at Honkokyo headquarters and that faith training development. And the first thing he asked people was and it just happened to be people who are related to his parent church. And he asked, how many of you are Tendikyo believers? Raise your hand. Everybody raised their hand. Even the staff raised their hand. And then he said, put your hands down. None of you should consider yourself Tendikyo believers. And then he proceeded what he learned and what he grasped. He says, look at that trash can over there. It is full of wasted food. Do you know how much energy, how much favor, how much blessings went into one grain? Everything that he was taught, just like Vivian has said, he began relating it to his faith, to his life. He said, when you guys clean if you've ever been to Tendikyo headquarters, there's these long hallways, and you maybe see people running down the hallways cleaning it. He said, how many of you actually clean corner to corner? And not just corner to corner. You make sure the dust is taken out. Or you just run down because it's fun, and this is what we're supposed to do. He began chastising, scolding these people, saying, don't you dare call yourself Tendikyo believers until you've elevated your faith, until you've taken the next step. So everything that Sakamoto Sensei had said, he realized it affected his life. It had affected his faith, affected the way he did things and viewed things, because he had not seen that perspective of life before. So he aligned what this concept of Jitsui, and knowing my friend, he actually puts this into practice every single day. So much so that now he has monthly services at his home, and he welcomes everybody and anybody to attend these monthly services. The minister comes and does the service, and they have a discussion. So he's so grateful to Kami-sama that this is what he does. And so he's been able to link, he's been able to line his daily life with his relationship with Kami. So my question to you is, here's where I'm going to take another minute and a half for you to write in your Shinji notebook. Is your daily life aligned with your, oh, you know, maybe just say yes or no. Simple yes or no. And just write it in your Shinji notebook. Is your daily life aligned with your relationship with Kami? Not a Sunday relationship, not just a Saturday relationship, but your everyday life aligned with your everyday relationship with Kami-sama. So think about that. Think about that. And I don't want an answer. I don't want an answer. I really want you to reflect on this because this is so important. Write that answer down and be honest with yourself. Be truly honest with yourself. And maybe if you're, it's okay to say yes, no, maybe, sometimes. It's okay to write those things down. Okay, so I'm going to assume that most of you wrote something down. So let's move on really quickly. So in doing this research, in doing this topic and preparing for today, you know, Kyoso-sama has a total of 10 teachings related to Jitsuiten. And you have to be very careful with the teachings. Although it says there's 12, there's really only 10. There's only 10, not 12. There's only 10. And the one that's incredibly powerful for me is this. Kyoso-sama imparted, a stone wall built in haste will crumble, but a stone wall built with care won't crumble. Those who practice faith must have sincerity and politeness for everything and act attentively. And so, no, if you try to look this up in the Voice of the Universe, or if you try to look this up in the Gorikais, I have changed the translation because the translation did not match. I feel did not really match what it's supposed to say. So again, the teaching says a stone wall built in haste will easily crumble, but a stone wall built with care won't crumble. Those who practice faith must have sincerity and politeness for everything and act attentively. My question to you is, what is this stone wall? If you want, please feel free to respond in the chat room here on YouTube. You can text me. Feel free to text me. If you want to DM me, feel free to DM me. I'm looking at my DMs. What do you think this stone wall is? Anybody? You guys are all so quiet. Well, I'm going to turn to Vivian and ask her, what is this stone wall?
Your faith?
Faith. That's it. I think this was a beautiful analogy Kyoso-sama had in terms of faith, to slowly build up. People like to rush with faith. There are people who just want the blessings like that versus the journey of faith. And, you know, Reverend Reiko Yano once shared with me, people want instant gratification so quickly that when they get it, their faith just crumbles. They forget about appreciation. They forget everything that should be there. True faith is one that's slowly built up. And this is where that Jitsui Teine comes in. Jitsui Teine comes in. Jitsui Teine in our everyday life is in the form of how we treat others, how we treat things, how we perform actions, how we drive our car, how we take a bath, how we take care of water, how we take care of our pets, how we take care of other people, our friends, our ohana. This Jitsui Teine, this sincerity and this attentiveness and this politeness are all a part of that. However, Jitsui Teine also asks us, is that all? What are next steps? I'm not sure about all of you, but you know, I have a dear friend who passed away. This was my best friend. She passed away on October 31st, 2021. And I truly miss her. She's someone so dear to me. And my biggest regret was I took for granted our relationship. And you know, I've never said that my relationship to Kami-sama is 100% Jitsui Teine. That's almost impossible. We're progressing that, right? I have another dear friend in Hawaii who I love dearly. And I've learned my lesson from my other friend. And I learned, what is the next level? I need to care for this friend. I need to make sure I constantly reach out to them. I need to make sure that they're okay. Every time I come home, I know she's super busy now. I know she has so much on her plate, but I reach out to her. I make sure I say hello to her. When I come home, I make sure I visit her home because she does not have the ability to come out anymore. But so this is where Jitsui Teine is asking us, is that all? What are the next steps? What do we do to move forward in our relationship with friends, or in terms of caring for things, or caring for our homes, or caring for our churches, or caring for other people, caring for our pets, caring or helping or our workplace? How do we put in? What do we do to make us better workers? Is that all? Is what we're doing? What are the next steps? I'm going to tell you that, my faith is, if anyone says my faith is perfect, yeah, I'll be blunt, you're full of yourself. If anyone says your faith does not need improvement, yeah, you're kind of full of yourselves. Nobody's faith is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And nobody, even Kyoso-sama, never said my faith is perfect. Even Kyoso-sama said there's a list of things that I still have to do, still have to learn. My cousin George Greenhouse was the Hokyo, or the minister's assistant at the Hilo Church. And I remember long time ago, he once told me at a service, no, there's no need to develop my faith. It's fine as it is. And I was shocked by this. However, later in his life, I think within the last 3-4 years before he passed away, he actually wrote this in an article in the Malama, which is the Hawaii Diocese newsletter, that his faith was not developed enough. He recalled his life and he realized my faith was not developed enough. The second Konko-sama has a teaching that says this. So a believer, had come up to the second Konko-sama, Shijin-sama, and said, Konko-sama, for 3 days straight, it took me 3 days to talk about Makoto no Michi, or the way, this sincere faith, about this sincere faith. It took me 3 days to talk about it. And then and after he did that, he came to the Hiromai where the second Konko-sama was. And the second Konko-sama asked, oh, it took you 3 days to talk about this faith, this sincere faith? And the person said, yes, it took 3 days to talk about this faith. To which the second Konko-sama said, wow, it would take me a lifetime to talk about the sincerity of this faith. Anyone who says their faith is perfect, anyone who says they have the answer, anyone who says my faith does not need improvement, second Konko-sama himself said, it would take me my whole life to talk about or to speak about this. Meaning he himself was learning. He himself was growing. And so, moving on. And so, Jitsui Teine is the same thing. In our faith in which we grow, our faith in which we are growing constantly, this is something that doesn't end. Let me share with you a few examples. So in Cancun, Mexico, there's a believer. And when he first started, he had nothing. He just had the Tenchi Kakitsuke. He had the English prayer books. And then one day he decided, I'm going to create my own altar. And he does his best to live his life in accordance to the teachings of Kami-sama. He does his best. There's a believer at the Azabu Church. Her name is Masako Tachibana. And I will never forget her. When she started practicing faith, she started learning. And then she realized, I want to share this faith. How does she share this faith? By being cheerful and understanding at her workplace. If I'm correct, she worked at a restaurant, some kind of high, very high-end restaurant, and she was cheerful and she wanted to make changes through her attitude and her behavior because she felt that this was the way of sharing kami-sama with other people and sharing how she was safe through Konkokyo. So she brought kami-sama to her workplace. She doesn't talk about kami-sama, but she brought that relationship with kami-sama, her joy of having a relationship with kami-sama to her workplace. We saw my friend, the Tenrikyo believer, with cleaning, turning his heart to kami-sama, sharing what he learned with other Tenrikyo believers about the importance of Jitsui Teine. My aunt, she herself, she became a minister. She was so grateful to kami-sama. She was living her life in accordance to the teachings, but she wanted to do more. She wanted to take the next steps. And so she became a minister after being asked to save hundreds of people. And then myself, as a teacher, I'm always constantly trying to improve, trying to do better so that my students can get better. My teaching will get better. My skills as a teacher will get better, and as a minister. And I've been blessed with a brand new apartment, and I've been blessed with this brand new altar setting. And because of that, we were able to open, not I, actually I think it's all really kami-sama, was able to open the Chula Vista Kosha. This is so important. This truly is very, very important. Kami-sama, it's true. So build. Exactly. Ali, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'm just seeing this, what you wrote right now. It is the tree of law. I'm going to say it's the truth of law, tree of law. The law is truth, and truth is the work of those who build. And the seeds grow from the very beginnings of it. Exactly. We have these seeds that are planted in faith. And even Kyo-sama talks about this as well, right? But we have to get rid of our pride. We have to be able to create this relationship. And this is where I share with all of you, it's okay to say, I don't know. I'm not sure. This is where Toritsugi is so important in our everyday lives. So important. So here's my challenge to all of you. My challenge to all of you is, in your daily life and faith, how can you incorporate Jitsui Teine? Try and do it. Not 100%, because that'd be like asking for you being like Kyosu-sama. But how can we do it at our jobs? How can we do it at our homes? How can we do it with our relationships with people? And then my next question to you all is, my next challenge is, what are your next steps? What are your next steps? So here's where, hopefully after today's service, going into your Shinjin notebooks, I ask that you write down and reflect, in what ways can I incorporate Jitsui Teine in my job? Am I incorporating, is Jitsui Teine a part of my job, part of my life at work? And am I taking next steps to improve, either as a teacher or cook, an engineer, or whatever occupation? If you work at McDonald's, what are my next steps to being a better hamburger maker or a cashier? What are my next steps? So with that, I'm going to end right here. I don't want to make today's, my legs are getting a little numb at the moment. But I want to thank you for attending today's service, and as well as today's Shintoku Academy. But please, I hope you'll take these challenges and share them with me. Please share them with me, what your challenges are in regards to Jitsui Teine. And again, this is not the end all to this conversation about Jitsui Teine. If we were live, we were able to hold a Shintoku Academy live, I think we would have lively, powerful discussions. I really do. But unfortunately, we're in the situation we're in now, and we're going to make the best of what we have. So just a few reminders. Here is the calendar for the for September into October. September 1st is the Otsuitachi Onrei Gokinen Kai, or the first of the month appreciation ceremony, prayer gathering. And that's done online and in person at the Chula Vista Kosha. September 4th is our Tenchi Kane no Kami monthly ceremony. September 11th will be the Whittier Autumn Memorial Ceremony. The Chula Vista Kosha monthly ceremony will be on the 14th. Our Mitama Matsuri, or our Mitama, our Mitama Godaisai, will be on the 18th. Please note, this is the longest service that we have. Just calling out the 350 plus names takes a long time. So I look forward to all of you joining us. After that, I will be going to Los Angeles for to participate in the Japanese American National Museum. They're having a service to intern the 150,000 names of Japanese American internees into a special monument. And then finally, October 9th is our Ikemi Konko Daijin Grand Ceremonies. Posters, notices will be sent out to all of you. If you're not on our mailing list and you'd like to be, please email me at sandiego.konkodaijin@gmail.com. I'd be more than happy to send out an invitation to you. But until next month, hold on, I'm going to take this person off. Please take care. Please stay safe. And we look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Want to say goodbye, Midori?
Bye-bye.
Say goodbye?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Midori is being shy today.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Ahui ho, malamapono.